All right, we're live. What is up? What is up? How's everybody doing tonight? Just watching a clip with Sadhguru and Joe Rogan. And interesting dude. I'm going to have to check out the full one on that. So what are we doing tonight? Love is Blind. Have you guys seen this show? It is hilarious. All right, let me do a little housekeeping here. I'm going to copy the link and drop it in the live chat over to YouTube. So just a little bit of a warning. There's going to be, I don't know, spoilers, I suppose. So if you haven't gotten through the nonsense, I am going to reveal. I'm dropping the link in a live chat to YouTube because about halfway through the show, I'm going to give you guys the join link so you can join me on the show and ask a question live. Any topic you want. It's open to everybody, young, old, man, woman. Bring whatever you want to the table. We'll chop it up. Shouldn't take me too long to get through this Love is Blind footage I got here and the highlight reel. But yeah, Moff's super worried about the spoilers. It's gonna ruin your night, bro. Moff and a few of the others are coming into town next month, so I'm looking forward to connecting with them. It'll be a little Toronto meetup for the members of the community. So all right, what is Love is Blind? It is a Netflix show. Okay, and like all of the things that are produced on TV, highly edited and designed to get your attention. The cast that they throw on the show, you got to understand something about reality TV, and I'm going to share a little bit of a story with you guys in a minute. But before I do, actually, I just wanted to, because I left it on my table here and I forgot to grab the bag. Let me just reach for it. What's this guy's name? Jason. So shout out to Jason. I got your, I get these things all the time and I keep forgetting to say thank you to guys live. I got your granola, 6 stone granola. The guy sent me a 2-page letter on the bullshit that he went through over the last few years and how my my book and my videos have saved his life. Awesome product, tastes amazing. Thanks for sending it, and thank you for the love note, man. Really appreciate the feedback. Anyway, back to the Love is Blind stuff. So these reality TV shows they're pretty fucking hilarious, if we're being honest. I did a pilot shoot for a Canadian show here about, I don't know, 11, 12 years ago. If you live in Canada, you've probably heard of the show Till Death Do Us Part. And the host they had on it was this very loud white Jamaican lady that would basically yell at people over their finances. Anyway, something happened between her and the show's producers, and she ended up leaving, and they needed to replace her. I got a call to audition for it, and I went and shot a pilot with them. So that was my first exposure with reality TV. So, and the reason why I'm telling you this story is because a lot of what you see on TV is bullshit. I mean, it's part of the reason why I don't watch TV very much anymore. But every once in a while I'll be sitting back watching something on Netflix like Vikings or whatever. And, it'll make a recommendation. I'm like, all right, let's check this out, give it a sniff test. And you're like, oh, shit, now I got to watch the rest of it to see all the dumb stuff. So reality TV goes down like this. All of this is manufactured, okay, by the way. And it's highly edited to send the right narrative to the viewership. And I'll tell you why it's manufactured. It's basically for red meat, guys. It's to get your eyes on it. When I did that pilot shoot, so it was a show about debt, obviously, which isn't that sexy or exciting, but they put me in front of this youngish couple. I think they were probably early 20s, maybe mid 20s. Guy was a bit of a nerd. She was overbearing, like the standard hashtag boss girl, the one doing all the talking. And we're going over the finances, and I'm kind of going through it line by line with the dude, and he starts getting, I don't know how to put it. Basically, he starts flaring up over the whole thing. So let's put it that way. Anyway, so I call for a cut. I talk to the producer. I take her in another room. I'm like, look, if I keep going at this guy, he's either going to start crying like a little bitch, or it's going to turn into, fist being thrown. And I thought that the reaction I was going to get was, yeah, we don't want any of that, so we'd rather you do this. But she looked at me and she gave me this like stare, and she was like, that'd be great. Do you think you could do that? And I was like, that is fucked up shit. Like, this is what they do on these reality TV shows, is they want to manufacture this. So take this stuff with a grain of salt whenever you come across it. it's for entertainment purposes only. Okay, 100%. Let me just throw this desk up so I can kind of walk through some of these that I want to cover, because I got them up on the secondary screen, and I'll feed the audio. I'm trying to stand up more. I hate fucking sitting down too much all day long. It's not good for your back. It's not good for your posture. None of that shit. So I got the stand-up desk. All right, throw these in, and I'm going to give you guys some of this feedback. So what the show is basically about is to put a man and a woman in two separate rooms with a barrier between them, and they're supposed to get engaged by the end of the series, and then they have a honeymoon and a wedding. And the point of it is love is blind. You know, you're supposed to fall in love with somebody without seeing what they look like. They're trying to remove what drives attraction between men and women and say, you guys go and sit between this barricade thing and talk to each other, but you can't see each other. You can't see what they look like. You can't see if they're attractive. You can't see if they're unattractive, tall, short, fat, skinny, skin color, nothing. You get nothing. It's just having conversations. And there's this one guy in the show who was sharp as a whip. This guy would start asking questions, and I'm going to show you some of the clips in a minute to show you why stuff like this fails. The first point that I want to make here is that this really just proves that nothing matters more than that genuine burning desire, which I cover in chapter 3 of my book. If you haven't read it, The Unplugged Alpha is on Amazon. Genuine burning desire comes from attraction. It comes from looking at somebody. I've said this many, many times. Somebody might have a great personality, a wonderful personality, in fact, but you can't fuck somebody's personality. When you look at somebody, when you talk to them, you're basically thinking, like what guys do it anyway, you know, we're thinking, okay, well, what does she look like naked, sort of thing. Women are also interested in that, but they also have a long laundry list of a bunch of other stuff too that comes with that. So let me just play some of these clips here and add some commentary. If you guys are listening to the replay, just fair warning, I'm going to play these clips at like 1.5 times speed. So if you're already playing this back at 1.5 times speed, this is going to sound weird. Slow it down right here. Let me add this to the stream. And if you have a hard time hearing it, just let me know in the live chat, but I think I got it set up correctly. So let me just play this reel here.
I love.
And by the way, I've got to pause it every couple of, like every 10 seconds or so because of copyright, blah, 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 and sound, whatever it is. So I'm just going to pause it through and add some commentary.
Buying clothes for girls. Yeah, what's your size?
Hang on.
I love buying clothes for girls. Yeah, what's your size? Would you like working out?
Yeah, not a huge fan.
Really?
Yep.
Ooh, I get along best with individuals that do work out.
This guy's awesome. He was the only guy in the show that was honest with the other side and with the producers. And at the end of the series, it was basically like, I get along well with girls that work out, you know, and he's like, you know, do you work out? And she's like, yeah, I don't really work out. And, you know, here she is. So he's clever enough to eliminate, you know, things that he knew would not work out. Basically, yeah, I'm just going to put it up on the screen, Moff, because I don't want the woke crowd to give me a hard time. They can read it. But essentially, yeah, and that's about what I was about to say next, is they turned him into a villain. I'm going to show you how they shame this guy for expressing preferences. So the next point that I want to make is it's totally fine for women to express preferences. Women do it all the time on dating apps. Must be at least 6 feet tall. Must have 6-pack abs, 600 horsepower car, 6 inches in the past, 6 months out of a relationship, blah, 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 blah. And they, doesn't have any kids in tow, doesn't live with their mom, must have a job, must have But when a guy says, hey, I like girls that work out, it ends up in a Cringe compilation that we're watching right now. And we'll see how a few of these guys deal with this guy towards the end.
Will you marry me?
This guy's a total simp. So this fella and this girl, Shana was her name. I just called her Lips and Tits during the show because that's all she was really. You know, she was like the eye candy, you know, thrown into the group. And this guy and her, she's apparently or purported to be religious and he is non-religious, and they have this flare up, but that's not why they don't get together. And you're going to see why in a minute. It's simply because there was an attraction issue. Let me just keep playing this here.
As soon as I see her, it's going to be 2 hands. Boom. I already let her know.
So this dude went through the entire crowd, and then he ended up proposing to the only Indian girl on the show. He was the only Indian guy, and they both start their conversation basically saying stuff like, he goes, I only date blonde girls, and she goes, I only date blonde guys. Anyway, he ends up proposing to her, so watch what happens next.
From here on out, she's within a 2-mile radius from me. That booty is not safe.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Oh my God.
Okay, so just as a aside, that's what genuine desire looks like between two people when they see each other. I mean, obviously they've been having conversations, but in person, when they met, they don't end up getting married towards the end, but when they met, they did have genuine desire. Now, I want you to watch what he does with his hands, because he's obviously into physical attraction. I'm just going to do this, okay, for the camera, up and down, for those of you that are listening to the podcast. By the way, these are all available in podcast form everywhere, guys, Spotify, Apple, whatever. You can always listen to them if you're driving or whatever, but there's something missing on the attraction scope of things, which you'll see more of in a bit, but just watch his hands.
Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Holy shit.
Hi.
That booty, look at that booty. If we were
Okay. He said booty, booty, booty over and over again, but he got this, right? Top to bottom.
to be at a music festival, do you like being on a guy's shoulders?
Yeah. You're up for the challenge? You can pick me up?
Yeah. But will I have trouble picking you up?
Will I have trouble picking you up? Isn't that awesome? Very clever, right? Clever enough to get around here, right? This one here, just listen to what she says. I mean, you can tell by the way her mouth is open, but just listen to this nonsense.
I have a huge Instagram following. Obviously, I have like a lot of friends. Like, it's crazy. And I think I'm really good at these pods because like with my job, I have like 5 to like 20 people in my car like at a time.
So none of these guys could see what she looked like, but they were all irritated by her. She didn't go very far in this nonsense.
How old are you?
33.
I prefer dating younger.
So he got shamed, of course. You know, she says she's 33. He goes, I prefer dating younger. Eyebrow raise. This all piles up, you know, towards the end where they all basically shit on him.
I'm 32.
You
look like a baseball player.
For everyone.
This guy's a bit annoying. He's somewhere on the spectrum. They actually casted him real well. You know, they put him on the show for a good reason. Okay, so this is towards the end here at the reunion. So let's hear what they're saying right about here, I think.
Sorry to interrupt you. This show, I didn't want to lose the thought. I'm sorry, but the show is about, can we just say off the record that...
Sometimes it's okay to just keep your mouth shut.
If you say you don't remember getting Mike today either, there's no off the
Always
record.
chime in.
Off the record.
Say whatever you want.
It probably...
Shane, you seem horrified.
You're right, man.
I think it's when this dude over here starts ripping into him right here.
I can't.
It keeps it real.
No, that's not real,
keeps
man.
it
That's just bad. It's just so bad,
always
man. You gotta stop.
I'm
sorry.
tell all. I'm going to say what...
He's basically saying, look, you know, you can be attracted to somebody's personality, but I need to see her. And there's nobody here that I was attracted to. So they start lambasting him for the sorts of questions that he was asking, like, hey, I like going to music festivals. You like that? Yeah, I like going to music festivals. Well, you know, do you like being on a guy's shoulders at a music festival? Oh, yeah, I'd love that. You know, do you think you're up to the task of putting me on your shoulders? Yeah, but would I have a hard time picking you up and putting you on my shoulders? So saying things like that on the show got him blasted towards the end here.
What everyone's thinking at home. Do not put me into your words. I'll say one statement, and hopefully I'll just shut up after that. Wouldn't you like that? I think we'd all like that. I think we would all like it if I just shut up after the statement, right?
I think we'd all like if you just shut up and
No, please just stop now.
Oh, are you kidding? I'm the realist. I'm the realist, Jared. I say the facts. I keep it 100, bro. I've always kept this completely 100.
Come on, dog. Don't do that.
Yeah.
This couple here, the black guy with this other girl, you're gonna watch that one fall apart.
We can do that.
You're not. You came on here for all the wrong reasons, and you know that. And everybody can see through how shallow you are.
Even this dude over here, this black dude sitting over here with this black girl, is trying to shame him in front of everybody else. And look at the body language of everybody here, right? It's just absurd. This narrative where you can't have preferences if you're a man. I'm gonna say that again. You can have preferences if you're a woman. You can have all kinds of standards. Has to have this income. Has to have a nice car. Has to live in a certain neighborhood. You know, has to have a certain kind of job. You know, for it to be acceptable, for it to be, you know, taking this guy out to introduce him to family and friends. But a lot of the women they put on the show, like the one that I mentioned earlier, Lips and Tits, the blonde girl that's a hairdresser, she's a hairdresser. You know, like, what do you bring to the table? You know, Kevin, the VP of sales, is making $250,000 a year, is going to put a ring on that at some point. And the interesting thing, you know, during the show was, well, actually, I'll show it to you in the next clip. I won't give it away just yet.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so.
Absolutely.
Because he loves me for me.
Okay, so we're gonna drop that out. Let's pull in the other clip over here because I got a few more things I wanted to cover. Have you guys seen the show, by the way? Just in the live chat, just let me know, eh? All right, share screen, Chrome tab. This is the number 10 one. Okay, so again, attraction comes visually. You know, I mean, maybe if you're blind, you know, you're going to have to rely on the other senses. But the biggest driver for attraction for men and women is visual. It's why in my book, when I covered dating and how to get the girls, and by the way, when I put how to get the girls, that was a joke, right? Some of you didn't get that. Most of you did though. But I talk a lot about having a good look as a guy and how to portray that and how to use dating apps to communicate that clearly. It's all detailed in the book. Now, what I want you to pay attention over here in this first clip over here for the first little bit is these two. I think this guy's Hispanic. This girl is Polish and Hispanic. But I just want you to hear what she says because she doesn't really feel it for this guy. Just listen up here.
I'm definitely in my head. I'm very attracted to him emotionally, but physically, like, I don't know.
Welcome to Ms.
Okay, but physically, I don't know. This guy's Jack too. I just want you to look at her. I'm just going to pause.
Emotionally, but physically.
Okay. This chick is not attracted to this Jack guy who's in very good shape, but she sits there saying that he's not good enough. Just let that set in, okay? This is what you're getting off body language and off exactly what she's telling you. She's not into the guy.
Like, I don't know.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo.
All right, let me just skip up because I got a few timestamps here. 150 is the next one I wanted to cover. So, okay, so watch body language with genuine desire here. So, it's got Shake doing the little.
I already let her know from here on
thing.
out. She's within a 2-mile radius from me. That booty is not safe.
The first time a couple interacts with each other face to face is the type of encounter that has the potential to be cute or cringy. Shane and Natalie's kiss, for example, demonstrates that they need.
Okay, we've got clear, genuine desire here. You know, between these two as well. You can tell by the body language, by the way they're touching each other. This is important to note. It of course is entirely based on them having a, you know, like liking each other's personalities. And then they, of course, like each other more in person. But beyond that, watch what happens.
A little more practice. And Shake could have saved his possessive booty grab for behind closed doors.
Oh my God, you're so.
Again, you know, dude gets shamed. You know, you're not allowed to touch her. You should have waited for it behind closed doors.
Holy shit.
Hi.
Booty.
Okay. So here's lips and tits over here. And this is what genuine desire does not look
Couples
like.
are passionately awkward.
These two, as she comes out, she clearly doesn't have the feels for what this guy looks like after he's revealed.
Mallory's lukewarm reaction to
Notice where her eyes go when she walks in. She's not looking at him. It's really, really important to know.
Hi.
Booty, look at that booty.
While these two couples are passionately awkward, Mallory's lukewarm reaction
that?
to Salvador also makes us wince.
It's nice to see you in person.
Oh my God.
Hi, how are you?
See, that's not genuine desire right there. The last one where they jump on top of each other, not there. Boom. But if you go back and you see that, you know, she's not even looking at him as she's walking into the room, it's just not there. It's missing.
Meanwhile, Kyle
And here's lips and tits and Kyle. I think this guy is in the trades, and this is the hairdresser.
and Shana have their own odd first encounter during which Shana
Like they've literally just seen each other for the first time, and she's already, you know, giving him a hard time, and he's like, you know, looking away, and, you know, can we just try? But just listen up here.
keeps her distance and expresses her doubts.
I don't want to make a mistake, and I don't want you to make a mistake. I don't want us getting caught up in like the experiment.
Are you willing to try?
Are you
Number
willing to
8,
try?
Shana
Dude, never, ever, ever simp for a woman like that. She's either into you or she's not. It's not like, well, let's just give it a try, or let's just try again, or let's see if we can make it work. I mean, Rolla said it. You can't negotiate genuine desire. You just can't do it. It's either there or it's not there. It doesn't matter how much you like their personality. And this is why I don't get these dudes that are all like, you know, they'll get on a dating app and they'll see it like a picture and they'll tell me they've been messaging back and forth for like weeks or a month. It's like, no, dude, the whole point of the dating app is to meet. Like, even if you have a photograph, it doesn't matter. The whole point of the app, get their number, get off the app, do a little bit of back and forth, and then set the date. That's That's a sequence that needs to happen. I mean, I cover it in more depth in my book, but that's a sequence that basically needs to happen. You have to meet them in real life, because when it comes to dating apps, I mean, women generally have the impression that guys lie about. I mean, guys lie about different things the way that women do. Like, women will lie about their looks. Guys will generally lie about their success. Guys generally lie about their height. Women will generally use older photography that makes them look more flattering, or from angles, you know, that show more cleavage, that hide other parts of their body, sort of thing, that may not be as attractive, but you get the idea.
Shana and Kyle discover their religious differences. The Love is Blind experiment tests whether conversation alone is enough to find a fiancé.
No, I'm not religious at all.
With nothing to do but talk, contestants develop their relationships by discussing their values and goals. Shana basically describes Christianity as a major pillar of her life, so when Kyle says he's an atheist, it seems like a deal breaker.
Yeah, the atheist thing. Okay, so she takes the proposal, takes her like 10 minutes to answer him. These two get together. Where's my net clip? 5:15. Let's pull it up here. Okay, so now we've got the carpenter and lips and tits here on the honeymoon, because he proposes to her. She makes him wait like 30 seconds before she says yes. And here's the honeymoon scene that I wanted to show you next.
Yeah, so I'm a little nervous for my cervix, but he's so cute.
Number 6, Shana leaves Mexico.
I was informed like the first night that we would spend the night separate rooms.
I don't know if you caught that, but she said to him in a low voice, "Tonight we're going to spend the night in separate rooms." Again, if you have genuine burning desire for somebody, you're going to be intimate, especially after you've been talking through a wall for a week long and you've developed a connection that doesn't involve physicality. You see each other, it should be there. When you're able to go away for the honeymoon, you should be all over each other like a fat kid on a piece of cake. But she's telling him from the get-go, we're going to have to sleep in separate rooms. And this guy keeps trying, man. He doesn't, like, these plugged-in betas, they don't know. They just can't pick it up, man.
Considering this couple's rocky beginnings, it's not surprising that things don't go well when Shana and Kyle arrive in Mexico. The events that play out are the perfect combination of dramatic and cringy, which can only be achieved in reality TV.
Wait, when's the last?
I love how these, like, you know, female commentators use this word cringy so much. There was a couple other videos that I was watching before these ones that I came across, and they were mostly done by psychologists, and they're fucking hilarious. You know, they're constantly using words like cringe, but they also use love languages, which we've proven is a colossal lie. I did a collab with my friend Paul on my channel, so you can search on my channel if you want to see the result of that, but just search for love languages, entrepreneurs and cars, and you'll come across it. And then there was another one that had the personality, what are they called, the INJTP or S, you know, the ones I'm talking about, and they're commenting on that sort of thing. The love language one got me. Like, as soon as they start talking about that nonsense, it's just turn that shit off, because that's not real. It's total crap.
Last time you actually
8 years. Yeah.
You're breaking it?
Their first evening together begins awkwardly with Shana feeding Kyle, who's a vegetarian, a bite of her steak dinner.
I hate feeding people.
That's something you generally don't want to do. I mean, okay, maybe it makes for a good highlight reel on television, but I mean, somebody says they only eat meat, you don't shove a salad down their throat. You know, likewise, somebody says they're a vegetarian, you don't go shoving meat in their face, but this is what Lips and Tits does here.
I think it's so cheesy, but I fed you.
From there, it just gets worse. Shana sets boundaries in their relationship by insisting on sleeping in another room. At 7:40 p.m., she retires for the night.
Could you imagine being on, you know, your purported honeymoon, and your fiance says, it's 7:40, let's go to bed, but you have to sleep in that room and I'll sleep in this room?
Telling Kyle she'll see him in the morning.
So,
like, take a look at her. You tell me that she's a virgin, right? She's a 30-something-year-old hairdresser, and she's talking about, you know, sleeping in separate rooms, and she's got, you know, religious, you know, boundaries and stuff like that. I mean, when you get your lips done like this, lady, you're not fooling anybody.
I'll see you tomorrow morning.
you're gonna go to your room now? It's 7:40.
Oh my God, it's early.
In a situation like that, just tell her to get lost. You know, pack your shit and get the hell out of here. And he's sitting there going, "You're gonna go in your room now? But it's only 7:40. But."
Oh my God.
She then packs her bags and leaves paradise and her
She leaves on her own accord.
fiancé behind. The fact that Shana departs secretly without telling Kyle leaves our jaws on the floor.
It's not the same without Shana. The fact that she's not here makes me so.
A lot of this stuff is engineered again. You know, like it's not fully authentic. I think we have Shake here asking about weight still. Let's see what that clip
So
is.
upset.
Number 5. Shake asks about weight. In the beginning of the experiment, it seems like contestant Abhishek, better known as Shake, is missing the point about love being blind.
I love buying clothes for girls. Yeah, what's your size?
Dude's brilliant. I love it. This guy's red-pilled, for sure.
He inquires about his date's weight in a roundabout way that's both obvious and insulting. He develops a reputation as
Oh, hang on. This is where she insults this guy.
superficial among the women.
If we were
He develops a reputation. What does she call him? Superficial? Let's play that back again.
He develops a reputation as superficial among the women.
Yeah. Superficial. It's superficial when a guy has weight standards. He won't date somebody that he's not physically attracted to. But again, if a woman has standards for financial resources, looks, height, doesn't have kids, live-in arrangements, jobs that they have, sort of thing, and then all the other 300 points that they usually make as well, that's totally fine. But a guy has like one standard: I just don't want a girl that's fat. Superficial. Everybody lose their mind, right? All right, let's see what else we got here. We got 8. Oh, 8 minute. Okay, so at the 8 minute mark, the fella Kyle, the construction worker, whose fiance told them to sleep in separate rooms, who also left without telling him, they're now at her parents' house, being introduced to the family. So check this out.
I get along best with individuals that do work out.
Number 4. Meeting the families.
Why do you want to get married? To my sister.
Now, can you guys see my cursor? Oh, okay, so you can see the cursor. So this is mom over here. Fellas, one of the things you always want to do before you're going to deal with a woman on a long-term basis or make her the mother of your kids, take a look at what mom looks like. Just, you'll thank me later. Heads up on that.
Sister.
So no one else gets you?
While bringing someone home to meet the family is
So I don't know if you caught that, but what they asked him was, why do you want to marry my sister? And his answer was, so nobody else gets you. Beta! Plugged in beta.
always a stress-inducing milestone. Bringing a fiancé home after less than a month of dating is sure to raise some eyebrows. Mallory and Danielle both have to navigate awkward conversations.
All right, let's move this up a little bit. We've got some talk on the beach. We got lips and tits again. Now, I just want you to look at Shake's behavior because
To his aunt.
So, this guy Shake, he had genuine desire for her, talking between the wall when they met in first person before, I believe, he slid his hands down her back and got flat. That is where his behavior changed. But just watch what he says over here.
To commit to each other, and I'm excited to just connect with you on all these levels.
All these levels.
Despite their similar backgrounds, shared life goals,
See his body language, see the way his eyes are kind of rolling around. Not into her, right? At all.
and complementing personalities, there's one problem threatening Shake and Deepti's relationship. Shake doesn't feel physically attracted to her.
She's like the #1 hype girl I could ever hope for.
Her?
Upon seeing his fiancée, he begins to express a lot of doubt to other people and finally to Deepti herself. He compares her to his hype person, his friend, and even his aunt, but
His aunt. There was a video that I came across that called this guy Shake what do they call him? Basically a closet racist, and they shamed him on something else. I can't remember what it was. It was another psychologist. It was this Asian girl that broke down and basically shit all over the guy. What other clips were there here? I think there was one at 1340. 1340, what do we got here?
and switch on notifications. Number 1. Shane mistakes Natalie for Shana.
You were my #1, so.
Really? You were my #1 too.
Natalie may bring out the best in Shane, but dating in the pods seems to bring out the worst. The realtor begins the experiment with a playboy mentality, willing to date as many women for as long as he can.
What do you like about that?
Yeah, when guys want to date women and explore their options, that's bad. When women do it, totally fine. Rack up your notch count, ladies. What could possibly go wrong?
Does she like me?
Shane inevitably finds himself in a love triangle with Natalie and Shana,
Who am I talking to?
I don't know. Take a guess.
No, Shana, there you go.
while juggling two women who are
So in this scene, he calls this girl Natalie Shana because, of course, they manufacture that. They put this stuff together for TV. That's about the end all be all of all that. I don't really want to keep banging on all these clips because it all just kind of boils down to the same stuff. You can't. I don't care if you want to put a wall or a skyscraper, between people, whatever it happens to be. You can't get away from the fact that women may select guys based on their looks and a whole bunch of other things. Success is definitely one of the most important ones. Also, you know, women look at guys as far as, you know, they're more concerned with a guy's future, whereas a man is more concerned with her past. What does she look like? How many guys she been with? Is she attractive? You know, so you can't get past any of that stuff by putting a show together on Netflix and hope that it works out. There's only 2 couples out of the entire cast, by the way, that ended up going through with the engagement and the marriage. That dork with lips and tits never made it. She basically told him to pound sand towards the end and actually ended up having a thing for this guy, Shane. But she just didn't have genuine desire for that guy. It really had nothing to do with the whole religious, you know, demands that she said her family had. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you take a look at her, you know, she's got some miles on the clock, and she's not celibate. I mean, she's not chaste by any stretch of the imagination. Absolutely freaking not. But that's what they try to sell you on these shows, guys. You know, it's manufactured. Again, it's for entertainment purposes only. But you know, when you unplug, when you take the red pill and you kind of see the code in the matrix and you understand these things, you watch shows like this with a renewed interest in looking at the dynamics unfold. And then, you know, you can't help but to comment on those dynamics afterwards. I don't know. You guys seem to like the video I did the other week on the Tinder swindler thing. So I thought I'd pull something out and do some commentary on this. Joseph Jones here says, isn't lip work superficial? Yeah, like lip work, boob jobs. I mean, push-up bras are arguably, you know, superficial. Putting on makeup is arguably superficial. Dyeing out, you know, your gray hairs, you know, back to blonde or, you know, as brunette or whatever is superficial. You could argue all these, you know, wearing high heels so they look taller, so their calf and butt looks different is superficial. Basically, it is what it is, you know. There are some things that are excessive, of course, you know, Botox and boob jobs. That's, you know, like sticking a needle in the lip. Okay, that's one thing. Going through surgery, you know, that's something else. Sometimes it's required. Gravity does that stuff, but I don't know. It is what it is. I'm going to grab the link here for you guys to move over to the call-in segment, and I'm going to drop it on YouTube. So if you guys want to hop in, if you want to chop up anything that you saw on the show that I might have missed, you got a question on, or just anything in general, come on over and do that. Why is that not pasting there? All right, come over and ask a question live. And again, guys, I do these every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. I always take call-ins on the show. So if there's something that you want to chop up, and dudes, I get a lot of emails and DMs from you asking me questions. You have 2 options if you have questions. Free option, call in on the show. Paid option, pinned below on my YouTube videos, there's a link to book me for coaching. It's a paid option. It's private. I mean, you don't want to come on the show and shop it up publicly. You can book me for a private session. All right, so that's pinned on YouTube. And while you guys click that and hop on in and get ready to start chopping up some questions, I'm going to throw the ad insert and play some bills around. This episode is brought to you by the Unplugged Alpha Supplement Line, Grondike Soap Company, and Chad's Face Scrub. Brothers, if you're like me and you take what you put in your body seriously, you'll want to use the Unplugged Alpha Supplement Line. An obsession with absorption is what sets this line apart from the others. You want to make sure you absorb as much of the supplements as possible so you don't end up peeing out expensive urine. My supplement line is made in the United States from the highest quality domestic ingredients, and unlike cheap supplements from China and plastic bottles, mine ship in dark glass bottles to keep your supplements fresher, longer, and won't seep endocrine disrupting plastics into your supplements. Nothing is a hard tablet. Everything is an easily digested bioavailable capsule. You can filter all products by their various categories, including testosterone support, estrogen metabolism, fat burning, immune health, sleep support, and performance. Visit theunpluggedalpha.com/shop and use the subscribe and save option to get 10% off your supplement orders, or just use coupon code ALPHA10 for 10% off a one-time order to try it out. Men, I use Tactical Soap and God of War beard oil every day. Tactical Soap is a handmade product made in the United States from ingredients you can actually pronounce, not conventional endocrine-lowering toiletry chemicals. Both the soap and beard oils are infused with bioidentical pheromones that are designed by a clinical psychologist and pheromone expert to maximize attractiveness to the opposite sex. Visit coopersoap.com and get 10% off your order today. Gentlemen, my go-to face scrub to keep this manly face clean and clear is Chad's. Again, it's incredibly important to me to only use products with all natural ingredients without nasty chemicals that disrupt male hormone levels or convert to estrogen in your body. And unlike watery scrubs that slip between your fingers, this thick face scrub with black lava sand gives you powerful results in one go. Visit getchads.com and you'll be redirected to the Amazon store. You'll get 10% off when you use coupon code GETCHADS10. You can find all the links I've just mentioned pinned below in the top YouTube comment. If you want to learn more about why I endorse these natural products to my audience, search on my YouTube channel for an episode I did with Dr. Anthony J titled Playing to Win number 21, How Estrogenics Make You Fat, Sick, and Infertile with Dr. Anthony J. Let's get on with the show. All right, let's do it. So I got a few guys in the waiting area. Again, the join link is in the YouTube live chat. It just says streamyard.com / with a bunch of blibbity blue after that. So you can bring any question you want. We'll be taking a bunch of Q&A. Or if you have any feedback that you want to, chime in on tonight's topic, that's cool too. Thanks for the super chat there, JR. Appreciate it. Vass, let's see what you got here, brother. Add to stream, and let's split it up that way. How you doing, man?
Hi, mate. Yeah, I was just typing the actual question, but you've put me in. But anyway, I've been working on myself within all the red pill awareness, and I've been getting results. And now I would like to connect with other men who are also red pill aware. I tried to look for them, but wasn't successful at all here in my area in Perth, Australia.
And
do you know anyone?
Where are you looking? Like, where are you trying to find these guys to hang out with?
So I'm a dancer. So I go to a lot of events and talk to a lot of men, and some of them, but basically none of them actually has any sort of awareness in this space.
What kind of dance do you do?
Salsa, bachata, kizomba, and
you have
hip-hop.
no problem getting women then. You're in a honeypot. There's lots of hot women that do that, right?
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of the guys that do that, they're going to be plugged in dorks. All right, so...
Oh, great. I get a lot of feedback from women about that.
Yeah. So what brought you to the Red Pill? Like, what brought you to my work and, going through the unplugging process?
Oh, that was a long way, because I was raised by my mom, pretty much. I never had a strong father figure. And just at some point, I started doing this kind of myself. I went into martial arts and skydiving and all of that kind of stuff. Tried to make myself a man by myself. But anyway...
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but I still had lots of... obviously, I wasn't aware,
okay,
I had a lot of... Yeah.
Okay, so let me get to the point of finding other guys that are also red pilled. I have a private community. I have loads of guys in North America. Okay, I have guys in Europe, the UK, all over the place. I don't have that many guys in Australia. I can't think of somebody right now off the top of my head that lives in Perth. I've got guys in the Gold Coast and in New Zealand, but not where you're at. So I wouldn't recommend joining my community to meet other like-minded guys, because you're not going to find too many where you're at. Perth is on the West Coast, right?
Yeah, Western Australia.
You're going to find more of these kinds of guys that already are doing things tied into masculine pursuits, shooting guns, driving off-road, dirt bikes, street bikes, archery, MMA stuff, dojo fighting. You're not going to find them at the bachata dance club. You're going to get lots of girls there. It's a honey pot for the ladies, but you're not going to find red pill guys there to connect with. So you're going to have to lean into other, interests. Anything there that's like conventionally masculine, that's generally where you'll find guys that are more attuned to your mindset. They're not generally red pilled though, right? Like, just because you like to shoot guns, it doesn't mean that you're red pilled. It just means that you're more likely to be open to the ideas if they're still plugged in, sort of thing. But the chances are you're going to find guys there more often than not. So that's really what you're going to have to do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll try that. Yeah.
Good luck with that.
I thought maybe you know anyone in this part of the world.
I don't have a large community in Perth. I got Moff in the chat saying we've got at least one guy in Perth, but I can't think of anybody that's super active, so I wouldn't recommend it. Like, I wouldn't say spend the money just to meet up with one guy, All right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thanks,
bro.
Rich.
See you. Yeah, we got to. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do some kind of a promotion where I take a look at some large cities out there that we don't have membership in, and maybe offer a discount to the membership for the first year or something. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Keep an eye out, Vass, if that's something that might be a fit. Dave, you want to hop in? You got your mic ready? Yeah. Okay. Hey, buddy. How you doing, man?
Hey, good. The whole thing with my wife, basically, instead of being in a pod, we were on either end of a telephone. So this is back in the the early '80s.
Oh,
and
hang on a sec. You met your wife on a phone sex line?
No, no.
Okay.
She was trying to link up with my roommate, who asked her out on a date.
Yeah.
But because he was in the military and out in the field, and she was a waitress at a 5-star hotel resort in Colorado Springs. It was like 3 months before they
so
actually
you didn't see each other then?
Nope.
Okay, and then when you saw each other in person, did you guys have like an obvious, genuine, burning desire connection?
Not at first, because she was still dating him.
Oh, she was dating your roommate, so you
Yeah.
so you poached her.
He monkey branched because he found somebody else because she wasn't going to put out. So, then things developed over time, and we just clicked really well.
Dave, I always love hearing your stories, man. Did you ever see that series that I was talking about, this Love is Blind thing?
Oh yeah, I've watched all 2 seasons of it. It's hilarious.
There's 2 seasons?
Oh yeah, this was season 2.
Dude, don't make me watch another season.
Oh no,
is it worth commenting on it? Like, is there more material in the first season?
They actually had more people get married, I think.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'd love to see what these people are doing today, 6-12 months after this whole like Netflix bullshit kind of like goes away, and then they have to live with each other. Because I mean, like, there's 2 couples in the second season, the black couple and then the white couple, and the white couple is like total nerds, and like big time nerds. Like, she used to be fat, he used to be fat. They both are very, very awkward. And then the black couple, I think they're just playing.
They had a.
Who's calling you, man?
I don't know. It's the National Republican Committee.
Okay.
The first season they had a black and a white couple.
Okay.
A mixed race couple that actually got married on the show, and they stayed together after the they went to the reunion show.
Oh, they got reunions for those 2?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just find it a funny experiment. It's they always try to create these environments where it's like, hang on, if we create this idea and then we put some batshit crazy in the show, like Shane from that episode, and some lips and tits and a brown guy and a big fat white girl sort of thing, and they start kind of like throwing it all into the blender. It's just, it always makes for good entertainment. It always does. Anyway,
another show is Too Hot to Handle.
Too Hot to Handle. What's that about?
It's kind of like you're gonna bring, was it 5 guys and 5 girls? No, yeah, 5 girls, 5 guys, and
I'm not gonna do that one. You know what, man? I'm gonna go back to my Vikings. I'm gonna connect with my heathen past. With the men with the great beards. I'm gonna start watching that some more now.
Yeah, this will completely
different show.
Make you go crazy.
All right, thanks, Dave. I'm gonna grab White Boy because he wants to talk about spinning some plates.
All right.
See you, brother. All right, White Boy.
Hey, Rich, how you doing?
What happening, boy?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, what do you got for me tonight?
So I've been spinning plates. I've got kind of like a little hiccup thing that's been going on.
All right, what's going down?
Basically, I'm finding like a lot of these girls are getting kind of upset, like when I'm not answering my phone, or like when I'm hanging out with these other girls, and they're getting kind of upset and they think something's going on, and I don't want to just like outright tell them that, I'm hanging out with this other chick, if that makes sense. So I was just wondering what your thoughts were.
Okay, so when they get upset, what do you mean? Like, what do they do? Give me a little bit of a example.
Well, just the other night, I had one freak out on me because I didn't text her all night. Not really freak out, but she was pretty upset.
So how long have you been dating this one? Like how long has she been a plate?
Not very long, maybe like a month or two. And I basically told her, without being too much of an a-hole, like, well, I kind of lied. I told her I was literally just drinking and watching Netflix and didn't look at my phone, but really I was on a date with someone else.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that because when you spin plates, you want them to understand covertly that they're not the only one, but you don't want to overtly state, hey, I was with Nancy and I rearranged her guts on Thursday night. Okay, you're not going to do that.
Yeah, and I've read your book and everything, and I saw that you don't want to like outright say anything.
Right.
So that's why I didn't do that, but I think I might have kind of screwed up there by
No. You didn't do anything wrong. See, the thing that you did wrong here is that you care too much about her opinion. Okay? You've only been dating this chick for what, 3-4 weeks, you said?
Yeah, something like that. I've got probably a 4 or 5 that I go on dates with here and there. So
okay, and how old are you?
I am 23.
Okay, so you're a young guy, sowing some wild oats, checking out some options, figuring out life. I hope you're chasing excellence more than you're chasing women, though.
Oh, of course.
Good. So I mean, these girls that you got in rotation, like women are strange creatures, dude. They are strange. They want a guy that other women want. Other women have to like you. If other women don't like you, they just dry up, dude, man. They're just not into you. You know, they're going to be distant. They're going to start moving away. So they have to see how other women respond to you. Like even if you go out to a restaurant and you walk in with this girl and then, you know, the greeter, she's hot, she's wearing a black dress, all the right stuff on. She walks you to the table and she kind of smiles at you or says, you know, I really like your shirt or something like that and walks away. That's great for you. You want that, right? Because then in her lizard hindbrain, she's looking at that interaction going, holy shit, that girl wants him. Right? I better make sure that I behave. Right? Yeah. That's why spinning plates is a good strategy, especially for young guys, especially for divorced guys. Like it's a great strategy to sort of like, you know, get your head around the way women are going to respond. So the first thing you're doing wrong is you're caring too much about what she thinks of you spending your time not with her. She's not your girlfriend. She's not your wife. She's not your mom. You don't know her shit.
That's why I politely told her, you know, I told her, well, I told you that I lied. So I said, I was like, if I want to be a degenerate one night and just drink myself to sleep, like, why? What's the problem?
Or
like, you're not my girlfriend. That's basically
or you just say, you know, if I want to be a degenerate on Wednesday night, leave me be. I'll see you on Friday. Make sure you wear that black dress that I like. And then you just kind of like move past it, right? Yeah. You don't have to dance around it or explain yourself or Guys apologize for far too much stuff today.
And I didn't apologize.
No, I know, and I'm not saying that you did, but what I'm saying is guys love to apologize for their behavior, for hurting, for her feelings. And the truth of the matter is you have to care a lot less about this shit. You know, my chapter in the book about managing your fucks for things that are truly fuckworthy. This is not fuckworthy. Like this, if this were to happen to me, I'd just be like, yeah, I was being a degenerate, so I'll see you Friday night and make sure you wear that black dress I like, sort of thing. You just kind of move past it. You know,
gotcha.
That's what amuse mastery is. It's just kind of like, whatever. You just kind of laugh it off and you kind of roll past it, sort of thing. That's all it is. So you don't let it get to you. You know, you keep doing what you're doing. And again, the only time you're going to have a conversation about getting into a LTR, which you really shouldn't at your age, right? Because you're a young guy.
Yeah, I'm not looking for that right now.
Yeah, so it's like, and if she brings it up, say, hey, white boy, I really like you. I don't want you seeing anybody else, like, where do we stand? Then that's where you just tell her the truth and say, hey, dig your vibe too. Really had been having a great time. And I'm happy to continue doing that, if that's the way that you feel. But I'm not going to be sexually monogamous with you. So you're just going to have to be okay with that. You're going to have to be okay with sharing me a little bit. I'm not going to embarrass you. I'm not going to bring a disease home. None of that stuff's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's it.
But pretty much, even if they ask, don't tell them I was rearranging Nancy's guts the other night.
No.
All right.
No.
Got it.
It's only when she wants to have the where do we stand talk. It's like, you're at the front door and you're seeing her off. And she's like, well, hold on a sec. Why? Where do we stand? Because we've been seeing each other for 4 weeks and, I feel like I want to see you more and, I really like you and, I want you to meet my dog and all that kind of shit. And you start kind of getting into those conversations. If it's appropriate, like it's 3-6 months down the road, not 3 weeks down the road, but if it's at an appropriate time and you want to entertain that, which I really don't think that you should at your age, again, you shouldn't really be getting into an LTR right now. But if that's something that you want to do, that's basically how you handle it.
Gotcha. All right,
Does that
Rachel,
make
I
sense?
appreciate it. Yep.
All right, man. Thanks, buddy. Hey, Moff, do you want to hop in? The join link's there, and I've gone through the other guys here. So if you want to hop back in, man, I'm happy to chop up some stuff you're doing in the live chat. Plus, you can mention the show tonight. Again, guys, if you have a question, I'm going to be on for another 30 minutes. Just hit the link, the StreamYard link pinned above, and more than happy to answer anything you got for me. Let's get the super chat here. Dude, Desi, shake here. That's not the shake from the show. That's one of the guys from my community. You need to watch Dirty John on Netflix. Another great show to watch, and it's based on a true story. All right, I'll write that shit down. I'll take that recommendation. Dirty John. Does he get with Dirty Jane? All right. What else we got here in the chat? First season was great. We're back. Yeah, make sure you bag it. He's talking to you there, white boy. I'm just gonna do about Sarah. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's where we stand. Yeah, you're always gonna get the like where do we stand talk at some point. I mean, if a chick digs your vibe, you can say, this is a very good example of abuse mastery. Hey, Moff, where do we stand? I really dig your vibe. I've only been seeing you once a week. I'd love to see you more. My friends keep asking about you. I feel like I'm catching the feelings for you, blah, blah, blah. Well, the way that I see it, sweetheart, is I stand 6'2" and you're 5'2". That's what abuse mastery is. That's you have fun with things. The mistake that most guys make, though, is they never, ever get to the point where she brings up the where do we stand talk. Chad, I see you in the waiting area. Just do me a favor in the private chat. Just let me know that you got a mic and a camera, or are you planning on leaving your camera off? I just want to know that your audio works. Most guys will basically rush to the where do we stand talk before she does. And if you rush to that talk, that's a very bad thing. It's mostly plugged in beta males that do that. It's like they'll go on 4 dates or 5 dates. They maybe, have sex with her, or maybe they haven't at that point, and they'll be like, I want to be in a relationship with you. I don't want you to see anybody else. I want to be boyfriend, girlfriend. It's like they rush into this, and it's like, that's, some women might go for it, but in the back of her head, she's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Slow the fuck down here, right? So you want to let her bring that talk to you. It's never you that opens up the where do we stand talk. All right, Chad, you got audio, so I'll add you to the stream. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. What do you got for me tonight?
Well, I just have a couple questions. So I'm a little nervous because I've been watching it forever. Okay. So, where do I begin? Let's say I did read your book about the, the red flags and everything, and I just recently was in a short relationship, and without your book, it would have really gone downhill, like very bad.
All right, well, tell the story. So what happened? How did the book save you?
Well, it's one of those things that was like her money issues. Mm-hmm. She was having a lot of problems like with her money and stuff like that. And I thought, I'll help her out. And then after I helped her out, I know. And I made it really.
Listen, I laugh, but we've all been there. There's guys in the chat that are laughing, and they're usually laughing because they've all been there too. But carry on.
But I decided, hey, I'll help her out, see how things are going and whatnot. And I made it really easy for her to pay me back and everything. Okay. And then we started to because she just recently came off from a divorce. Yeah. She had 2 kids, but they were like 18. They're 18 or 17, so they were out. But
how old are you, Chad?
I'm 35.
And how old was she?
She was 40.
Ooh, divorced 40-year-old, single mommy of 2.
Yeah, but yeah. So but
broke as well. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going. Yeah.
And the thing was, like, I can always got this hint, like, she was always looked down on me because I came with a family who like owned a movie theater, and I was really into movies, and so she always kind of like stubbed her nose to that kind of stuff. But I thought, well, okay, whatever.
And she's such a catch, being 40 in debt with 2 kids in tow. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I was like, okay, she's, talking about her ex, how he was bad and everything like that. And she's trying to get her on her feet. And she wanted to have like this pet cat to help her and everything. And she's like, she needed like an extra $180, $200 so she can have like the cat and some food and whatnot. I was like, okay, I'll help you out. It's no biggie, and I told her, it's like, you can either get it from me or you can get it from your ex. Cause she said she was going to get it from her ex. And I was like, that kind of was like red flag, like, why are you still talking to him if you guys are divorced, kind of thing.
Well, they have kids together. They're going to deal with parenting issues. You always have to remember that.
Yeah, that's true. But it was just kind of like, still like, to me, it was just like, you know, if you were going to go to him for money, why are you talking to me about money, kind of thing. So I was like, okay, I'll give you the money. And I was like, we talked again. I was like, I made it easy for her. I was like, if you want, just pay me $20 here or there, and you'll be fine. As long as you are wanting to pay me back, we're good.
Okay.
And so we started chit-chatting, and then we started saying, like, well, why don't we start dating? Because I kind of liked her before. I had a why not one-itis with her.
Okay, so you brought up dating first.
Well,
and this is after you're paying off her debt.
Yeah. Okay. And so I was like, you're,
we know why your camera's off now, Chad.
Yeah. Well, I just don't have a camera.
No, carry on.
But so she's like, okay, all right, and we were kind of chit-chatting, and she kind of seemed like she had a thing for me, but she kind of like, it was kind of like the way she was like presenting herself. She was kind of like, she just had this like way of like how I was, like, I wouldn't say friend zone, but she kind of like put me as this spot,
Yeah, she put you in that spot because that's where she saw you. Let me ask you a question. The chapter in my book where I cover single mommies, did you find that was accurate with your experience dating her?
Has been a while. I mean, I just read the red flags ones. I didn't get to the mommy part. I don't think. Okay.
You'll probably call in next week when you get through that part.
I think like I just remember the finance part one, where there was always a problem. There's always something. There's always like something, and that was the key to make me go, okay, this isn't the woman I liked a long time ago. This isn't a woman that I like now.
So that's why you got rid of her, was because of money problems?
No. So this is what happened. So I was like, okay, just pay me $20 here, $20 there. You sign a paper saying that you paid me, and we're all good. And she's like, okay. And we started just doing this dating, and she came over. She gave me some money. She gave me actually like $40. She's like, here's a little bit, and we started talking. We started getting to kind of touchy feeling. We actually started to kiss. And
hang on a sec. You were lending a girl that you weren't banging money?
Yeah.
I just want to clarify that. So you're dating a woman that's older than you, with 2 kids, divorced, with debt, and you're not banging or paying off her debt.
Well, I was trying to that one day, but here's what. So we were getting kind of intimate. We were getting a little
into it.
Well, and this is where things get like really turned for me, going like, okay, this woman is not here for me. She just wanted my money. Is when I was trying to get more, on the kissing part, I was like trying to get her to really be intimate with me, and I could just feel her mouth just clenched, and she's just like not like, she was not letting me go the extra mile. Let's basically put it that way.
Yeah, so her kitty would be drier than the Sahara Desert is basically what's going on there, right?
Yeah.
So you ended up like getting rid of her after that because the genuine desire didn't exist?
Yeah, like the minute I realized that desire was just gone, I was like, okay.
You do not want to negotiate attraction with women ever. It doesn't work out. Like, her hands have to be all over you, especially in the early stages. If they're not, I'm telling you, you're wasting your time. And never ever do any of those other things that I mentioned before. Date a single mom with kids. You don't have kids?
No. I don't have any kids.
Never been married?
Nope, never been married.
How tall are you?
5'10".
How much do you weigh?
About 205.
What do you do for a living?
I work at a it's a farm and ranch store.
Okay.
It's kind of like I don't know if you have them up there in Canada, but they're kind of like a Tractor Supply.
Okay.
But it's a different brand around where I live. I live in like Oklahoma.
Okay, so you're dealing with like equipment stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
and like, was she hot at least, or was she?
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, yes.
Hot? Okay.
But
don't do that again. Don't like. Do not get involved with women. Do not pay off their debt. I mean, I would understand. Look, if she's a mother of your kids and you got to take care of her, she's home raising the kids, or I don't know, she can't work or something, or they lay her off. Yeah, that's when you take, that's when you're taking care of things, right? But this is a chick that you don't know. You just met her. You're not even banging. She's got money problems already. It's like, no, like, you don't even continue the conversation next time.
Well, which was funny is that I remember you said something like that, and which also was another thing. We actually, again, another problem with my beta-ness that have been happening to me. I actually talked to her about it, and then she said like something like, "Well, I'm just not ready. I don't want to feel like it right now because things are going on.
Bullshit. Anytime a woman has genuine, like, dude, women will drive 2 hours at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday when she has to work at 7 a.m. the next morning to come bang you on her period. And throw down to like a dark towel. Like, women will do anything if they have genuine desire for you, just to keep you on the good books, just to keep you happy, to keep a smile on your face, you know, so you know that she likes you. But this like conversation of, well, you know, I don't really know you and I don't feel comfortable right now. Get the fuck out of here. It's don't even waste your time. It's next.
Well, see, that was the funny thing, because the minute she said that, I was like, I remember you talked about how you had a date, like you were like, minute after your divorce, you had a date with this lady, and she pretty much had sex off the table, and you talked about how you would, you know, basically you would bang her immediately or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the story was.
Well, let me clarify the story because people are listening and going, whoa, hold on a second. So there's a part in the book where I talk about the Amazonian. She was taller and heavier than what I thought she was going to be, maybe like 15 pounds heavier. Not fat, but more like curvy, you know, beyond the kind of curvy that I like. So, you know, she shows up. I'm like, all right, you know, she was a good laugh. I'm here already. Let's go inside and get the damn beer. Go in, sit down. She's a good conversation, right? Anyway, she starts to tell this story about how she likes to wait 8 dates before she has sex.
Yes, that's the story.
Right? And I'm like, I just start laughing. I basically spit out my beer when she said that. And I'm like, I don't negotiate desire when sex happens, right? It's got to be a natural progressive. If it's not there, that's cool. You know, I'll move on. Like, I'm a busy guy. I got shit to do. And then she pauses and she looks at me and she kind of looks at her drink. And then she kind of like gestures towards the bathroom. She goes, okay, then let's go to the bathroom. Let's fuck right now. Okay.
Yes,
so
that's the
when
one.
a woman has genuine desire and you pass her bullshit shit test, which when you get good at it, you will, you won't have a problem with this. That, by the way, was like one of the few times in my life that I turned down sex from a woman that like advanced on me. It doesn't normally happen, but I just didn't find her like that hot. I don't like 6'10", not 6'10". She was about 6 foot tall, you know, in height. Like, she was way too tall for me.
Well, but yeah, so that was that story I remembered. So when she started saying like, I'm not ready and everything, I remember that story and I go, hold on. And then I started explaining to her, it's like, look, I'm a guy. I'm going to need sex soon. So if you're going to tell me all this stuff, then what's the point?
Right.
And she's like, well, you know, maybe if we could do this and blah, blah, blah. And then like,
do
I
what?
remember,
Do
like,
what exactly?
Like, you know, get intimate. Like she said something
Pay
like
for
maybe,
her cats?
Yeah, I know, right? But like, she's like, well, we can get intimate like when you come back from lunch on your lunch break when I'm at home and everything like that. I was just like, well,
So-
okay, but why is the problem now?
Okay, so Chad, here's what I want you to do. I got to start taking some of the other calls here, but
Okay.
here's what I want you to do. So here's your homework. I want you to lean into genuine desire a little bit more. So just play with it. Just test it out. You know, let's say you're being playful with a chick and she's coming over. Instruct her to do things that you like. Just say, I want you to walk in the door. It's unlocked. I don't want you to say a word. I want you to do this, that, and the other thing. And make up whatever you want. It can be as outrageous as you want, you know, whatever sexual things that you want. And if she does it, you've got genuine burning desire in your hands. If she protests, she's going to start negotiating. If she's still talking to you, she's kind of indifferent, sort of thing. So like kind of lean into figuring out what that looks like. Because once you see it, once you experience it, it vastly improves your experiences dealing with women. You're going to have a lot more fun, right? Like, you're never going to go like black pill and think, oh, this sucks. It's not, you know, worth my time. When you experience genuine burning desire from a woman, you know what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, also to finish off my story, she did pay me back all my money though. I finally was able to get her all my money back from her. But anyways,
how much did you end up lending her?
Like $200.
It's not much.
Yeah, I know, but yeah. But anyways, thanks for the talk, Ben.
Thanks, buddy. Take care. All right, Moff, we're gonna pull you in a sec. Let me just catch up on these super chats up here before they disappear. Cappy sends his love. Ryan has a new book coming. Atta boys, nice to hear. John Sargent, broke single mom, in the sheets. Yeah. Thanks immensely for curing my cougar fetish, especially with your pep talk to the 27-year-old dude who was seeing a 34-year-old woman on your last program. Anytime, brother. Appreciate it. John, I started listening to, but she was 400 pounds. Turns out she wasn't. Apparently she was hot. More listening, less talking, bro. Jerry, always there policing. All right, let me grab you, Moff. What's up, buddy? Yeah, you're muted.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening?
Oh, not much. I just didn't know if you wanted to bring me here just to ping pong off up or bring some other guys up.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
happy to chop up
you have any feedback on like
Well,
the topic
you know,
or any of the guys that were calling in?
Yeah, so like I watched a couple of the clips. I actually watched the clip that you brought up, like the 10 minutes of cringe or whatever it was. And just, you know, you're going to get comments like, oh, I can't believe we're just talking about this and wasting time and yada, yada, yada. And it's, you know, I've started looking at things from, you know, Evo Psych or even a Red Pill lens. It's like, okay, like this stuff is, yeah, I'm going to make, like, this is why things are the way they are. Like, that's why I watched the Tinder Swindler and looked at it from okay, why did this woman within
never
2
watch
hours
TV shows, you know, the way that you do anymore now, you know, once you unplug. Like, one of the things that came out of that whole Tinder Swindler thing is you really want to test a chick for genuine desire. See if you can get her to give you 150 grand.
Right.
Right. That's a chick that really digs your vibe if she's willing to give you that kind of cash.
Yeah, and I mean it's so funny because I talk to some of the women that I meet and go out with, and every single one of them are like, "Oh, I can't believe that I would never do that. I would never get caught by that." And it's just, you know, it's all nonsense. It's she was this
it's all
person
theatrics, right? Because women want to sell their purity. It's all, I'm a virgin,
Not
I'm
me.
chaste, I haven't been with 100 guys, I haven't had a train run on me. None of that stuff's ever happened. I'm a good girl, Moff.
Yeah, and it's like, look, this woman got on a plane with a dude after 2 hours of knowing him. He flashed, you know, a Patek and some Versace clothes and said, "Hey, am I?"
And brought a single mom with a kid along for the ride too.
Right. I mean, it's like
genuine
it's
desire.
almost
Very strong.
It's almost as if the guy was like, how much can I throw at her and what? I'm gonna. It's like he was like a buddy bet him. He's like, all right, like have your
Let me see how
daughter.
much weird
and
shit
your
I can do.
mother-
I got the last one to give me 50
Yeah.
grand. Let me see if I can get 100. Like, guys, I'm not like, don't take this out of context because a lot of the nerds are like, I can't believe you say. I'm not saying go take advantage of people. Don't be silly. It's just, you know, like we're talking about, you know, this idea and sort of chopping up the notion of what genuine desire can actually look like.
But this is what these shows do, man. And the people I feel bad for, and it's like we all do as men naturally have a soft spot for women. You know, Paul talks about we want to take care of the baby maker. That's just our, you know, inherent evolutionary psychology and the way we're hardwired as men. It's really detrimental. You know, a guy like Shake, I'm like, dude, that dude's based as hell. I mean, and you know, he's just going right out like, yeah, he's not going so as far as like, oh, what do you weigh or what do you look like?
Nobody's clever about it.
Yeah, exactly. And somebody put in the chat when they played the clip of that woman was like, oh, I don't work out that much. I'm like, yeah, it's like, yeah, we know, we can tell.
It's obvious,
like, and you can see how
to us viewing, which is why they cut it up like that, right? It's like,
you could
when they talk to this guy Shake, they're like, oh yeah, we got to cast this guy because he's based.
100%. And you could see like her like face kind of scrunch up like, oh, I don't really work out. Like, cause it was like she knew she had that feeling inside of like, ugh, like,
oh, women know when they're overweight.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's this idea of now we get to repackage this and resell this, and this guy becomes like the most hated man on the internet for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
When all he did was just say, hey man, like I like what I like, and he's absolutely right. Like, you know, I'm going to say it like it is. I'm going to say what a lot of guys are thinking because a lot of guys out there do feel this way, and a lot of guys will resonate with a dude like that.
Everybody feels this way, Moff. It's
right.
just they're not
allowed
willing
to
express that because if you do, you get shamed. I wouldn't give a fuck. I mean, if they would put me on a show like that, I would fucking destroy them. I mean, they wouldn't. Right. I'd probably get thrown off after like an hour.
Yeah, you'd walk in and be like, "Well, first of all, I don't agree with the premise because I'm not going to want to bang your personality." Like, all right, Mr. Cooper, you can see your way out. Like, so you wouldn't last very long.
You're out of here.
Yeah, you wouldn't last very long, but maybe you would. Maybe it's like, all right, we got to keep this guy on. Like, he's a firebrand and it's going to get eyeballs and clicks. And people love it. If anything, we know anything about reality television, people love a villain.
Yeah.
Right.
Villains,
so people love to be the villainized. But I, at the end of it, I still feel bad for women that are being told, like, love is blind. It doesn't matter what you look like. The right guy will look past all of that and he will love you for your personality. And you are just fine the way you are. Instead
of saying, the funny thing
look,
is if you watch this series, you'll actually see that it's women that reject guys based on their looks more than the guys rejecting the women.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah,
because like even that Shake guy, when he you know explicitly said, you know, she reminds me of my aunt, like I'm not really attracted to her, he still couldn't say no and to call off the wedding. She was the one that had to end it right at the altar, basically. I don't know if you saw the whole thing, but that's the way.
No, not the whole thing. I knew they didn't wound up getting together, and there was only, I guess, 2 couples that did wind up staying together from it. But yeah, it was just like, look, like these women are likely still single. And this woman went through 2 guys from the show. I think she tried to make it work with him. I think that was L's and T's. I'm for the kids, lips and you know what's. But yeah, it's all in all, it's just a shame because we're being sold, or like 90 Day Fiance, Love at First Sight, all of these.
That's another
Love Island or whatever it is.
That's
all
another
of these
shit shows, that 90 Day Fiance, where they basically take a plugged-in beta from North America that works at the post office, drop them in Asia, where they find some 5, which is the best that they'll ever get anywhere in the world, and they bring him back, and then they hate the guy, right? Because he's a total loser.
Yeah, it's just, if you can look at this stuff through the lens of, okay, you know, I'm going to try to break down why this is happening and what this is and make this educational, that's fine. But you also have, to your point, a lot of these APA psychologists that are like, oh, this is deep rooted in racism and colonialism. Like, what are we doing here, man?
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, what are we talking about? So yeah, I mean, look, guys, like, have your preferences and don't let anybody shame you. I mean, abundance fixes everything.
All that came from a guy that's like, yeah, I'd like a girl that's kind of fit.
Yeah, I like a girl that works out. Like, I generally like to date younger, like than 33 now. And then it's, oh my gosh, just I'm sure it like set the internet on fire. I mean, I see girls post on their stories like, this guy's the most hated man. I can't believe everybody. And it's like, dude, I bet this guy
girls haven't watched my channel
relishing
yet, so,
this stuff.
We'll get them one day.
Yeah, so it's like, guys, don't let them trick you. Don't let them bamboozle you. Don't let them make you feel ashamed for having it. You know, fight the power, man. And it's like, oh, what does that even mean? It's like, yeah, man, we live in a gynocentric social support. We live in a gynocentric social order. We know it.
But I'll say this, like, let me just add that, you know, before you go. So I did that video the other day with that mom with the 7 kids, the old lady that lived in a shoe and didn't know what to do with all the children. You know the nursery rhyme. Anyway, like, you know, in situations like that, you don't go and spend time belittling them and trying to ruin their day.
Yeah.
It's like,
what is that guy doing?
Like, don't be a douche about it. Just like, you know what?
I'm
not into you. I'm not into fat girls, or I'm not into women that have 7 kids, and that's it. See you later. Bye.
Well, to your point, like the fact that you even matched with her or swiped on her in the first place, it's like, if your radar was even plugged in, man, you wouldn't even thought twice. You would have, like, off. Like, now, yeah, I even say, yeah, dude, there's no reason to insult a stranger, and but there's also no reason. And dude, if you want to look, as a person that has seen guys get kicked off dating apps for very innocuous comments or things not at all, or even for no reason, like they met a girl, didn't like her vibe, didn't call her again, and then she texts them like a couple days later, was like, oh, by the way, I reported you. That's what you get for like not calling. That's what you get for ghosting. It's like, dude, why even run the risk? Because these apps are all built and designed to protect the interests of women in the dating world.
Designed to facilitate women's hypergamy, right?
And let me say one more final thing, because this has gotten brought up about me recently, and I just want to clarify for anybody out there listening. Like, I think that somebody brought up recently, like, oh, like, I like your content. You've been talking for a little while, but I've noticed as of late, you've been complaining a lot. And so I want to tell guys, like, these aren't complaints, guys. Like, this is me just telling you the way that the world is. I'm not mad about the way that the world is. I understand that the way the world is. If you think it sounds like complaining, it's because you probably think the world should still be different. I don't think the world should be different. The world is the way it should be.
So
like, it's your job as a man to make sure that you understand the world and then use that to your advantage to win the game.
So to that point, and I've dealt with this for years now because people have called me bitter. They've said, you know, who hurt you? Why you complain? It's like, if you have a problem with the facts, the problem isn't with the facts.
Right.
Like, where is the lie? You know, do you have a counter argument? Do you have a better solution? I mean, I used to say,
I even say, guys, like, dude, like what? Give me an example.
Months. How many months did I say, guys, if you have a better solution to something that I've addressed here, rather than in the comments, you know, arguing with each other like a freaking anon, get in the show and what's your better solution? Nobody ever does it. It's always point and sputter, right? So it's
I learned a long time ago about the comments. I mean, that's something that I had to go. And like after the first couple of times, it's like, it's going to happen no matter what. No matter how many times you address somebody, no matter how clear you are in the argument, it doesn't matter. Most guys just want to hear themselves talk, and that's perfectly fine. And like I said, I give any guy the opportunity to do that too.
Beta males, they really don't like to do it. They, you know, humans are habit-forming creatures, and it's like, once you like something, it's like, that's why when you were a kid and you would turn on the TV, it was like, okay, Cheers was on at 7 o'clock, and then there was the A-Team. I'm obviously dating myself now because I'm a lot older than you, Moff, but you get the idea. It's like, you know, you like your schedule habit. It's why I scheduled the show for 8 o'clock on Monday nights Eastern Standard Time, so people know, okay, it's Monday night, I might want to talk to Rich, or I want to see what the topic's on. That's why people are habitual. So as soon as you try to break those habits, they don't like that.
Yeah,
you know, it gets very uncomfortable for them.
I sometimes take the time to address guys in the comments. There was guys that made a comment on our Monday show last week when we were all on as far as panel goes. It was like, oh, I usually like these guys, but a ton of bad advice thrown around. And Jared and I both were in there like, hey, man, like what? And then another guy commented, yeah, man, terrible advice. And we're both like
and then you invite them on and they never come on.
And I say, if you have an issue, like here, I'm on stereo every Monday after Rich's show. You can email me, you can DM me, you can find me. Like there's a lot of ways that you can chop it up with me and actually have a dialogue. But most guys are just like, they just have Twitter fingers. So, you know,
I'm
always going to have the
lies,
conversation.
Moff. Lie to me. Tell me everything sugar and spice and everything nice, man. That's what I want. No,
it's not complaints,
you don't want to do
It's
the work.
the
You don't want
reality.
to lose the weight. You don't want to fucking make more money. You don't want to move out of your parents' house. I don't care.
Yeah,
stay.
No.
Guys, follow
You gotta come
Moff
guys, I
on
think.
stereo after the show. He goes on after we do this with Jaron.
I'll put it in the chat too.
Yeah, just drop it in the chat. Thanks, brother.
All right, man.
Yeah. It's always good having him on for a little bit of commentary. All right, let me see what I got here in the private chat. From White Boy, we did him. Norwegian. Hey, Rich, I'm trying to rebuild myself after becoming a train wreck. I was in a closet of my ex who was a piece of work. Not sure if it's BPD or what. All right, Norwegian. All right, buddy, what do you got for me? Ex-wife's story? Is it ex or ex-girlfriend?
Ex-girlfriend.
All right, so tell me what happened.
Before we begin, I must say Norwegian is my language, so English is not my first
Where do
language.
you live, Oslo or?
Close, Kristiansand, which is the southernmost city.
I met two girls in Cuba that were professional volleyball players from Oslo back in my 20s. Good time, yeah.
Volleyball players, man, they're a lot of fun.
Norwegian girls are tall, dude. They're like
yes.
They're tall chicks. But anyway, go ahead.
We're tall people.
Yeah.
I'm actually 5'7". I've just converted to Imperial here, 5'7", so which isn't tall. So I'm kind of struggling with that.
Okay. All right. So what happened with the ex?
Yeah. So what happened was she's a very beautiful girl. We joined the same friend group when we started school 3 years ago.
How old were you?
At the time, I was. Now I'm 30. I look young, I know, but at the time I was 27, and she was 21. So she was like perfect range for me. Really liked her, and but what's interesting is that in the beginning she was basically invisible to me. I didn't see her, and I don't think she saw me. But when she was interested in me, basically, it was like gravity just pulling me towards her.
So, sorry, she wasn't interested in you? Is that what you're saying? Like she was frigid?
I think she was interested to begin with. Like she liked my charisma, but she had a boyfriend at the time, and of course,
look at her, eh?
Yeah. But we started to hang out, and even though she had a boyfriend, she started hanging out with me in the evenings, and we were watching movies at my place, and I tried to tell her, like, I don't want to make you into the kind of person who does this with someone who's not your boyfriend. You see, I didn't want her to betray her boyfriend, but she didn't care about that. She was.
Let me just stop you for a second, because there's something that men need to understand about women. There really are no single women. Okay.
What do you mean?
It's true. Well, what I mean by that is every woman that you're talking to, like any woman that you're interested in, that that you look at, that you want to be intimate with, that you want to form whatever level of relationship that you want to form with, she's already dealing with other guys. Usually guys, like I'm going to say plural, minimum guy. She might be married. I've come across lots of married women on dating apps. Okay, that's usually where they go. They don't like to talk to you or go to the nightclubs because they don't want to get caught. So they could be married, they could be engaged, they could be somebody's fiance, they could be a girlfriend, they could be talking to a guy and dating him for 3 weeks. They could be talking to 5 guys and dating them for several weeks each. They could have thirsty betas up in their DMs talking to them constantly. Hey, let me send you some flowers to work. There was something I shared on Twitter earlier today, right? Guys like, hey, I've been talking to this girl for 4 months, and I want to send her flowers at work, but she won't tell me where she works. It's like, dude, she's not interested. Like,
Yeah.
she wants nothing to do with you. But all women have the attention of other guys. So whenever
So when
you're
you're saying that there are no single women, you mean that she has 99 plus messages?
she's got something going on. I mean, she could be on one end of the spectrum married, on the other end of the spectrum she's just dating a lot of guys or talking to a lot of guys or any combination of those things. So anytime you get with a girl, you're poaching her from another guy.
I feel good about that, you know.
Okay. So
Because
you're talking to the
nothing-
girlfriend, and what happened with your situation?
Yeah, she breaks up with him, and she's basically about to get into it with another guy, and I tell her like, hey, I don't want you
Another
to get
guy
with
that's
him,
not
but-
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I tell her, I don't want you to get with him, I want you to get with me. And so she gets with me because, I don't know, I guess I'm the better option.
So so hold on a sec. Let me just stop you there for a sec. Now you're negotiating desire, because her every fiber of her being is picking the other guy, and you're trying to convince her to pick you instead, which she does. So what did you tell her to pick you over the other guy?
I think in that case, she was interested in both me and the other guy, and she had already been on this hiking trip and kissed the other guy. I guess they were doing it too.
Okay.
But I basically said to her, like, yo, you don't want that guy. You want to be with someone like me. And I showed her my merit, as it were, kissed her.
How did you show her your merits? Did you have like a PowerPoint presentation with all your pros and cons?
No, we were biking in the evening. It's very dark here in the winter, but we were biking, and I told her, like, here's my future plan. This is my education behind me and my plans before me, and this is what I want to become. And I think you are more interested in that than this younger, less experienced man. And she said she thought about it, and a day later.
Was there an
she came
age
back.
difference between you and her?
Yes, I am 30 now, and she's 24 now, so she's 7 years my junior.
And how long ago did this happen?
3 years ago.
Yeah, she's in her party years, dude. Like, she just wants to party.
Yeah, I figured.
Age, like, after high school till about 27, women just want to see the world, travel with their girlfriends, party, go to the nightclubs, go to the foam cannon party, shit like that. Like, that's generally what they want to do.
About that, I have a question for you. How do you reconcile this, that the girls have the party years and that age, and that they are also at the prime of their reproductive capacity, and they, you know,
well, you live in a very feminist country. Like, isn't it very egalitarian there? It is, right?
Big time. Yeah, it's your impression is dead on.
Yeah, so promiscuity is kind of, you know, the norm in, you know, the Nordic countries, right? Like, you know, women just kind of bang whoever they want. I remember they did this social experiment where they had a woman in they had a guy in North America at a large city, something like Chicago, just in an open square, and he's asking all these women, he's doing a cold approach, I like you, let me get your number, you want to have sex with me right now? And every single one of them said no. And this guy was pretty good looking. They took the same guy and they put him somewhere in a Nordic country that's more left-leaning, that's more feminist. And I think it was something like, it was a fairly significant, you know, percentage. It was definitely way more than zero. Women were like, yes, let's go right now. Let's totally bang, right? So it's like, you know, you can't really expect to find women that are not promiscuous in a country like that have got a notch count, that are going to want to be like, oh, this, you know, like, I'm 23 years old. I'm the most fertile right now, so I should get with Norwegian because he has all of these merits. That's not what they're thinking at all.
Well, I don't have so many merits currently. I mean, I have a lot of merit, but what happened was that I became, it's like she just sucked the life out of me. She just drained me of energy over time.
How?
It's hard to say. She had a troubled childhood and upbringing. There were so many red flags, like a communist parade, as you say.
Okay.
And I should have seen them. And in hindsight, you know, it's 2020, but.
Well, I mean, like, here's what the benefit of knowing the red flags is now, is you're not going to invite a woman like that into your life. You're not going to tell her to break up with her boyfriend. You're not going to tell her to pick you over the other guy. You might have some fun with her, but you're not going to invite her into your life. You're not going to, like, do this big sales pitch with a PowerPoint.
Yeah, I was pedestalizing her big time.
Right.
And I found your work 2 years ago when things were really going downhill, and your work has helped me so much. So thank you for that.
Good. So how did it end for you?
Well, I'd say that like we got together in February, and already in May, I was gonna leave and go do a summer work somewhere else in the country, and I said to her like, I don't think this is working out. And she became very attached to me, and we basically went there together. She came with me, of all things. She really came with me. Things were going downhill, and I broke it up with her February. So we were together for 1 year, and then I broke it off. We had no contact until the summer of last year, and then we kind of picked it up. And
so it sounds like that was a while ago. Like, what are you doing today in your world?
I'm writing my thesis, a master's thesis, but for theology. I'm studying to become a pastor.
Okay, a pastor.
Yeah.
So you're looking for mother of your kids sort of thing.
Oh yeah, big time. I'm 30, and I'm almost at the end of my education, so I'm looking for.
Can you get a nun out of the convent and make her your wife?
I'm a part of a Christian subculture in Norway, and for sure, it's there are a lot of girls here who have 0 notches and that are chaste, so they exist.
All right. Well, that's always your best bet, right? I mean, if you want to make make a woman the mother of your kids, one of the most important things you got to do is you got to kind of uncover her past and make sure she doesn't have a peppered past with a whole bunch of notches, right? Because we know that women divorce men and leave men when they've been promiscuous. You also have higher instances of mental disorders, abortions, all kinds of other stuff. So you definitely don't want to invite that in your life, but you already know that now.
Yes. So it ended. Oh, sorry. Basically it ended horribly, and now I'm trying to rebuild myself. So I had a question about confidence rebuilding, but
okay, go ahead. Yes, what's the question?
Sorry.
Go ahead and ask a question.
Okay, I don't want to take up more of your time than necessary. You've already given me so much, but how do I get the confidence to hit the gym like I used to? I've gained 46 pounds.
You don't need confidence to go to the gym. You just need will. You just need willpower.
Okay.
You just have to look at yourself in the mirror and fucking yell at yourself and say that you're a disgusting fat fuck and you need to fix it. Basically, that's what I do, dude. Like I probably put on maybe 10 pounds over this last winter.
Okay.
And I'm working on getting it off. Like I'm normally jacked. Like I'm usually ripped, and it's like I've got a 1-pack right now instead of a 6-pack. So I'm trying to deal with that. And how do I deal with it? It's like, I look at myself and I'm like, dude, you look fucking bad, right? It's like, I got to eat better. I got to move more. I'm going to hit the dojo harder. I'm going to add an extra day during the week. It's because I want it bad enough, right?
Yes.
And it's like,
you're right.
If you want something, you're going to find a way. If you don't want it, you're going to find an excuse. It's as simple as that.
True. That's so true.
All right, man.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, buddy. Get your ass in there. Do the work. See ya. All right, let's do one more before we go. What do we got here in the waiting area? We got Abel, Vass, Jacob. All right, let's check here. Oh, hang on. Let me just grab these comments in the super chats before I do that. Feminine narrative on Netflix. Why doesn't modern psych pick up true issues? Because they're retarded, dude. Like, honestly. The American Psychologists Association, I think that's what it stands for, the APA. They put out a basically in their user manual. I can't remember what it was called. It was Sean Smith that told me about this a few years ago, and he's a psychologist, good guy. And he said something along the lines of they were essentially telling psychologists to treat guys like they're toxically masculine. And then they had all these like definitions that the female first primary social order put together, essentially shaming conventionally masculine roles and encouraging psychologists to treat them that way, which is why you'll see on YouTube now, like if you search on YouTube for Love is Blind Shake, you're going to find breakdowns from all these different psychologists that are basically calling him covert racist. They're calling him toxically this, that, and it's just nonsense. It's just how they approach everything, which is why when guys are like, I'm going to go get some therapy, it's like, dude, save your money. Okay. Take that money, go to Vegas, take that money, rent a Ferrari for the day. Just do something else with it. Dude needs to stop playing with a snake. I don't know what the hell that means. Super chats can be like that, man. Sometimes it just don't make sense. All right, let me see what we got here. Abel and Vass. Abel. An encounter with an ex almost destroyed my life recently. I would like to share my experience and ask some tips about rebuilding. Okay. We got a rebuild. Abel, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. So what's going on with you tonight?
Fine. Man, it's such an honor to be talking with you. It is great. So thank you for your time.
Thanks, man.
I wanted to share this experience because it's what led me to you and
Okay.
your book, of course.
Can I just get you to speak up a little bit louder?
I'm sorry. It must be because I'm not using. I'm just using the speaker on the phone.
Okay. No, you're good.
So the thing is, like 6 years ago, I was practically engaged with an ex, but things fell apart because she cheated on me after we had some financial problems, right? So after that experience,
Meaning you had financial problems.
Of course, because I was the one that paid for everything. She
Yeah.
was
So,
more like my.
so what happened there was she didn't see you as her best option. Hypergamy. Women always seek the best they can get, so she starts exploring other options. You know that women, when they're in relationships, about 50% of women have admitted that they have a backup plan. So,
Oh yeah, I remember that quote.
And you have to keep in mind that, you know, that relies on making women look bad. So admitting that you have a backup plan makes you look bad, which tells me that there's a lot more that are unwilling to admit that they got something that they might be considering. So when shit starts to go downhill for you, and this is where the black pillars get pissed off. They're like, see, I told you, she only wants you for your money. So when things start to go downhill for you, that's when she starts looking at other options. That's when other guys start to look more attractive. When you're on your purpose, when you're in your grind, when you're chasing life excellence, when you're doing something of some significance with your life, other guys are invisible.
Yeah, and here's where the second part of the story comes because and confirms what you were saying. And then after we broke up, I dedicated myself to study in order to enter into the diplomats academy of my country, which is basically what you need to do to be a diplomat.
Where do you live?
I live in Chile, in South
Chile.
America.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah. Many people in the chat probably don't even know where my country is.
Oh,
It doesn't matter.
I mean, I would bet some of them know. I mean, I certainly know where it is. I've traveled.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
The thing is, I achieved this job. It required me to pass a very difficult test. Almost 600 people were competing to get the job, and only 15 remained. And well, basically everything in my life went up. I started making more money and everything. And all of a sudden, I got a message on Instagram from this chick. I never talked
Things improved.
about. No, of course, I never talked about because I put that info on the Instagram page, which I had done before. And of course, she contacts me and tells me like she's changed and she's been thinking about this thing and he's been.
She made a mistake. She really loved you. She shouldn't have done
right?
that. Blah blah blah. Yeah, yeah.
And
you know why I know what she told you? Because I've heard the same story like at least twice.
Yeah, I know.
Every guy watching this right now that's been with a few women has heard this story before.
Yeah, they always come back.
Some fucking chick that like breaks her heart, cheats on them, or some shit like that, dumps them, and then later on down the road they come across you on social media. Women love using Facebook and Instagram for creeping people, especially their exes. So, you know, when they find out, oh look, Rich has a McLaren, he's doing well, he's got a show with all this audience, blah blah blah. The book exists. All of a sudden the shit's blowing up. Hey, you know, I shouldn't have done that when I was in my 20s. I really liked you back then. I was such a fucking idiot. And I'm like, bitch, aren't you married and you've got 2 kids with this guy? Like, what are you bothering me for?
Oh yeah. Well,
dude, there's no shame. There's no limits at all.
Not at all.
I'm just saying.
And I was, of course, I was super beta. Like the only thing that carried me.
You didn't take her back, did you?
Almost. Like
almost.
That's the next part of the story.
Okay.
I started reading the Unplugged Alpha for a reason. I was super beta before.
Okay.
Because I was raised by a single mom.
Yeah.
And I never had any like powerful male figures to follow. So I was
totally fine.
Indoctrinated into this romantic.
Listen, it's totally fine when you're a teenager, but as soon as you're out of the house and you're an adult, you have no excuses. Like you have to find those role models. You have to pursue masculine pursuits. You have to look for the truth. You have to question things. But yeah, I mean, listen, we've all been lied to some degree. It's just the amount of crap that you got in your childhood is different from other guys. But so you had to unplug, and then like, why did you say no to this girl when she came back to you?
Okay, no, I never said no. Because
oh, you didn't say no.
She came
okay.
back. I invited her to my apartment, and we had a fantastic night. Like super romantic. I banged her all night, and she was telling me that she loved me, that she missed me, I was always in her heart, and all of this stuff. And I was like, wow! I was like mind blown. Like, this is amazing. Like, because I love the girl, right? I always
how
did.
much of it did you believe?
Everything until the next morning.
Okay,
because
and what happened?
I woke up, and the moment I woke up, a dude started calling her, and the dude called her like 7 times in a row, and she started like cutting him off, right? And I was like, who is he? No, it's just a guy that.
You're just a friend.
Work out. No, things didn't work out with this guy. Don't worry about it. And I was like, okay. We started showering and all, and then. Like, she started telling me things about her life, and every single thing that she was telling me was a red flag. Like, it was a collection of red flags, one after another.
I'm just gonna ask you to pause on that thought for a sec, because I pulled this up. I was searching for it. There's this meme that has been going around a little bit, and it's the hairstyle girls love, and there's same guy, same outfit with 2 different backgrounds. So fellas, take notes. Because this is the hairstyle that girls love. It doesn't matter what your hairstyle is. It's what's around you that they look at, which is why when his situation improved and his lifestyle got better, she all of a sudden become interested again, right? Sorry, go ahead though.
And then, well, she told me that she was still friends with her ex, that her ex was now the boyfriend of his best friend, her best girlfriend, that both of them had the keys to her house.
All of them have the keys to the house, okay.
Yeah.
Red flags, yeah.
Not only that, she had a car parked on her house that was the car of another guy that she was seeing at some point. And the car was there because she was managing this, selling the car. And I was like, what is this?
Okay, so what did you do with all that?
I went, after that, I drove her. I have a motorcycle as well. So I liked that you referred to that on your book. I drove her to her house, and then I called her and I told her, like, dude, there's no place for me in your life. Like, you have to get rid of all this shit, and then we can see what happens. And she was like, no, I'm fine as I am. And I'm like, okay, it's over. She's like,
yeah, let me just stop you there. So when you identify a woman as broken, she's broken. I mean, there's not many women that will try to fix their lives when they got a bunch of red flags. It's really not even worth it. Like, if you're talking to a woman, she's got like 6 or 7 red flags, and you're like, you know what, you got to go fix your shit, and then I'll continue, with you maybe after that. I wouldn't even go there. I would just say, I don't want to invite you into my life because you're going to complicate it unnecessarily.
Yeah, I know.
Or don't even say that, and just, if you want to set her up for friends with benefits and have fun, then do that. I don't care. But you never, ever, ever invite a woman like that into your life. You don't, like, it's not even like fix those things and come back. And hang on a sec. I'm going to tell you why. Women really struggle with accountability. Okay? Men really like to be accountable. Successful guys. Any guy that's done anything with their life is always accountable. They'll always examine themselves. Like the other day, I was late going to see my folks, and my kid was running behind. I'm like, fuck, why is this taking so long? And it's like, you know what? I let her sleep in too much, right? Like, I should have got her up earlier so she was ready to go. And I'm taking ownership for those fucking thoughts. But women don't like to take ownership, for the sorts of results that they get out of life. It's always somebody else's fault, always, right? So one red flag that's something simple, like, I don't know, she has a shopping addiction, for example. She likes to buy shit and return it and buy shit and return it. She's one of those people. Okay, well, if she stops doing that, maybe you'd consider it. But like 6 or 7 red flags, dude, it's not even. It's like, you know what? If you want to bang, come on over, let's do it. But I'm not gonna. Trust me. That's it. All right.
Yeah, I should have done that. I should have done that because it would have saved me a lot of pain. Thing is, after I said that to her, she told me like, "Dude, you're magnificent, you're wonderful, whatever." And like a week passed, and I was like, "Dude," like I started to have doubts. Like I doubted myself, and I called her back, and I was like, "Let's hang out."
The only reason why you did that, Abel, is because you didn't have other options. If you had other women that were genuinely interested in you, you wouldn't have thoughts about dealing with a woman with red flags. You wouldn't miss her after a week because you've got 2 or 3 other girls on your phone that are genuinely interested in you, that are willing to meet up with you, right?
Yeah, it's possible. It was right in the middle of COVID, so it was very.
You know what, dude? There's a video that I commented on. I was going snowmobiling that day. I did it in the car, and I was listening to a clip from Tony Robbins about raising your standards. And I'm not a rah, success porn sort of like Tony Robbins guy where you yell at an audience, but he's absolutely right. The reason why guys invite, like pretty much everybody that calls in on these shows, it's like, I was 35 and she was 40 and she was in debt and she needed money for a cat and she had 2 kids and, blah, blah, blah. It's like, huh, okay. And then, it's like you have very low standards. And when you start to raise, the standards that you set for yourself, like, the guy before, the Norwegian guy, is like, I put on 45 pounds, over the last couple of years because my head's not on right. And how do I get motivated to get in the gym? And it's like, dude, just have the willpower, right? Like want it bad enough. Have higher standards for yourself. Like when you get out of the shower and you look in the mirror and you're fat fuck and you don't look good, I look at myself and I'm like, what the hell happened to my stomach, man? I've been eating too much. I've been sitting around. They've locked me down. I can't go out. I can't ride my bike. I'm fucked, right? So it's like I've put on some weight. And I shame myself basically because I'm always hard on myself. So when you raise your standards for yourself, for what you look like, the kind of money you're going to have, the kind of car you're going to drive, the kind of people that you invite in your life, the kind of rooms you want to put yourself in. I always tell you guys, if you're the smartest guy in the room, get the fuck out of the room. I routinely leave rooms that I'm the smartest guy in, right? So, when you raise your standards for your self-care, for the kind of women that you want, you're not going to deal with the crap, right? Because as soon as you're on a dating app or something like that and you get a match and she's like, I've got these 7 red flags, unmatch. You just go because you've got other options, right? Because you've got higher standards and you don't allow that in your life. What do you do in Chile? You said that you're working right now. Are you in school?
So I'm going to get to that point because that's the actual question I want to ask.
Go ahead.
Because the other thing is just so people in the chat realize that this stuff is real, that the things that are on your book are 100% real and applicable to real life, and because it happened to me. So when I tell you that she destroyed my life, is because I started dating her again. Like we lasted like 1 week, and then I realized that the guy that was calling her was her boss, and she was banging the guy. And it's like an older guy than her, like a 40-something-year-old guy.
Dude, women are the same all around the world.
And I was heartbroken, to be honest, because I was really, really beta. And it broke me to the point.
It's because you believed in the soulmate myth. Like you thought that, she could be one.
Like, hook, line, and sinker, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I fell into a very deep depression, deep depression, because that was coupled with the fact that I started to realize that my job as a diplomat was a complete lie, something that I don't want it to be a part of. Because for the meaning of the word glamour, right, is something that appears to be one thing, but it's not. Like from the outside, it looks very honorable, like helping people, solving their problems, dealing with migration crisis. But when you enter, you realize that inside, it's just like your regular 9 to 5, with the difference that people inside, they believe their own stuff. They believe that they are really important. People don't do much. You don't do much. And I couldn't stand the fact that I was sitting from 9 to 5 doing basically nothing, like answering some emails from the Chilean mission.
What did you do? You moved on to another job?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you're considering leaving?
No, it's worse than that. Because
okay, so what's the question? Because I need to start to wrap it up.
Yeah, I know. So sorry.
Okay.
So the thing is that because of my medical condition and all that, I had to take a leave, and they didn't like that. So eventually I got fired from my job.
Okay.
And the thing is that I'm now in the position where I want to start from scratch and dedicate myself to something that I actually believe in and that I want to be a part of. I decided that I want to become a bodybuilder. I would like to start a YouTube channel talking about this stuff and develop and making my life out of that path, right? So I would like to ask you.
You want to be a fitness influencer, but in bodybuilding.
Like, that would be a dream for me.
Okay,
I don't see myself working at a 9 to 5.
Okay, this is in my wheelhouse. So how old are you? And
yeah,
how old are you?
I am 31 right now.
And you want to be a professional bodybuilder, or you want to be like a fitness influencer?
I would like to be a professional bodybuilder if I can.
You're crazy. It's no, don't listen. Like, you're gonna have to take copious amounts of steroids, right? I mean, you're talking about like the professional scene, not the drug tested stuff. You know, where you're natural.
I mean, if I have to, I will.
Yeah, like you're gonna do a number on your body, and a lot of these guys die young because they get addicted to the whole rush of like, I need to look good, and it's like, well, if that guy's using this thing, I think he might be using, so I now have to use that thing. And then, you know, you go from just using something basic like therapeutic testosterone dosages to throwing the entire kitchen sink into it. You fuck up your health. You know, you stress out your organs. You know, your kidneys potentially fail, you know, younger than what they need to. And, you know, you do it for what? To look good for a couple of pictures? Women don't really like guys that look like that. You know, women want a guy that, you know, like has like a swimmer's body. They generally don't like the bodybuilder look. There's some bodybuilder chicks that like it, of course, but then, you know, they're kind of weird looking. It's like a dude with like, you know, a vagina sort of thing. They're not good looking in my view. I mean, I'm just not attracted to them is what I should say. But I personally would not recommend it to guys. I mean, you're far better off doing something like what Greg Gallagher did. Like, I did a pretty long cast with Greg, like, I don't know, two months ago. It's on my Playing to Win series. I'd recommend watching it. So if you guys watch YouTube, find it on YouTube, just search for Greg Gallagher, or on Spotify or iTunes or whatever, you know, just search for the episode on Playing to Win, because it's also on podcast now. And I mean, he's got a great physique. He's a good looking guy, you know, gets the girls that he wants, but he runs it as a business, right? Like, he's selling people the superhero like image, like, these are the exercises that you do, buy my program and I'll teach you how to look that way, go do the work, you know, here's some of my you know, supplements and stuff like that. That's the way that you want to do it. And you don't have to be a bodybuilder to do that. You just have to look good, right? Like, I had dinner with Greg I don't know, a month or so ago, like that. He's maybe like 5'10", 180 pounds. He's not a big guy. Like, he's not like this. Like, he has to walk in sideways to get in a room because the doorway's too narrow. He's an average, you know, sort of build, but with the right lighting and with, you know, with the right sort of program and marketing, which he's got down pat, he does very well, right? He's a Canadian guy, right? So, I mean, if you look at that episode for some inspiration, don't go competing on stage, flexing, you know, bikini shorts sort of stuff like that. I would go the route of, hey, you know, I know about this stuff. I'm good at it. I've been doing it my entire life. And you have to have social proof. Like, you actually have to look good, right? I mean, you have to be able to take off your shirt and be like, you know, yo, like, I'm Jack. Like, if you do what I tell you to do, then you can look like this too, right? And that could be good, right? I mean, one of the areas that you can make a lot of money on, especially online, is showing people how to look good naked, right? Because they know that it works.
The name is Greg O'Gallagher.
Greg O'Gallagher, and it's on the Playing to Win podcast.
That's a different podcast, or just a section of the...
It's on my YouTube channel. Just go to playlists and then look at the playlist that says Playing to Win, and then just go back the last, I think, 4 or 5 episodes. It's in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks
a
lot, Rich. I don't want to take any more of your time. You've been wonderful. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, brother. Good luck. And guys, I just want to, you know, before I go, thank you all for the kind feedback on the book. If you haven't got it, it's on Amazon. It's why the podcast is called TUA. It's the Unplugged Alpha. It's based on the book. Get the book. You can get it in Audible. I narrate it myself, or print, or Kindle. And if you enjoy it, I mean, a lot of people on tonight said they had a great time with the book and they got a lot of value at it. Please go to Amazon and leave a written review and let other guys know what you learned from it and why it was a valuable read. It just helps out with the algorithms and gets the message out to other guys that need to see it. Go see Moff and Jaren on stereo. There's a link up on the screen, and they have a big announcement tonight. I'm not sure what that is, but Moff, DM me. And we'll see you guys next Monday for the next show. I got a few shows I got to publish this week, some pre-recorded stuff. And I'll be live later on this week on a Playing to Win episode. I haven't decided what I'm going to cover yet, but yeah, make sure you're subscribed.